This week, we talk about Pharmaniaga, MSM, and Inari. Disclaimer, we do not own any stake in these three companies, and as usual guys, please speak to a professional if you want financial advice. None of what we say should be taken as financial advice. Hey guys, if you're interested in building a 6 to 7 figure portfolio using the power of stock investing, head over to the comment section or the description to sign up for our free masterclass so that we share with you exactly how we do it. Okay, so we start with a company that we are somewhat familiar with. We did, I think, at least 2 videos in the past. You guys can go check it out here. And of course, what happened during those videos, with a tiny, maybe just a tiny recap, is that they had a big impairment loss. So they have to write down a lot of their inventories. And so that resulted in a huge negative and, PN17 status, if I remember correctly. Correct. But recently, there's been some positive news about the company. And so what has happened is that since the low of March here, which is when you see the impairment loss was here, if my eyeball is correct, they're up like 50%.
40 to 50.
Yep, give or take, right?
Yeah.
What is the news? What actually happened?
Right. So there's actually a few things that is going around in Pharmaniaga. So number one is that they have interested parties that it wants to buy a stake in Pharmaniaga. So we have here BP Healthcare down over here. Also, it's another healthcare company, do a lot of healthcare products and services. And
I got my COVID test from there actually.
Right, that's cool. Okay, and then another one also, it is they are trying to speed up the PN17 regulation plan. So they're trying to like finalize it at I believe another 2 more months from now. Yeah, so that is what the defense minister said, and then there's another investment intentions over here. Okay, so a few contexts if you read the news. So number one is that Datuk Beh Chun Chuan, who is the founder of BP Healthcare, so this one is confirmed already that he wants to maybe get a stake inside Pharmaniaga, as well as there's a few more institution fund, private equity, and also private entities also wants to take part in this share acquisition. And then not only that, they also planning to appoint new lineups of their executives. So there will be a refresh in their management team. Yeah, right. So it'll be quite exciting to see what faces or new faces that we can see in Pharmaniaga's board of director. And if you look at the overview, after the impairment loss, so far they have been making a slight profit, a little bit only.
2.6 million.
Yeah, 2.6 is luckily it's not really like loss making again. So that is quite a slightly positive news, although it's still quite far away from where they are. And so this is the final comments, is that definitely the investor wants to buy at an attractive price. So the question that you want to ask is how attractive it's going to be and what is the private placement is going to be for these investors.
Yeah, I mean, this is just a conspiracy theory, but there's a chance, right, that they will want the price to be a lot lower than it is today, so that they can acquire it. But just going back to the news, there's this regularization plan, right, which actually is, I'm not sure which one is a bigger factor in the price going up, but I don't know, if I had to guess, it's the regularization.
Yeah, I believe also it's about the new lineup and basically the new management team lah.
Yeah, so like this was something that we discussed in our previous videos, which you can check out. I think something we said along the line of these are government companies. They're going to be there for a long time, and so they're always going to get orders, and they also potentially be able to recover some of their inventories. And it seems like the plan in August is exactly that.
Yeah, and also it is a time-sensitive issue, so they need to solve it as fast as possible.
Exactly right, because some of these are perishable inventory.
Yes, correct. Okay, so that is all about Pharmaniaga.
Okay, guys, before we move on, if you're someone looking to level up their stock investing skills and you need a lot more guidance, we do have a one-on-one program called the Mentorship Program. If you're interested, you can apply it in the comment section or the description. Right, so we move on to MSM. MSM is has a very storied history, right? It used to belong to it was founded, if I'm not mistaken, or used to be owned by Robert Kwok.
Yeah.
Right, this is the classic. He made the chunk of his first pot of gold through sugar. You can read his book, but Malaysian sugar had a big jump, 26%, a big jump by its standards.
All of a sudden.
Yes, all of a sudden. And, it's been a company that people really question about, where how do you become a monopoly and still not do as well as you should? Right, that's why everybody's asking. Now, the reason why is because they have a price ceiling.
Yes.
Right, all of us Malaysians have either subsidies for a lot of our stuff or some sort of
restrictions,
law
ceiling
that allows, the prices to be controlled.
Yeah,
right.
I believe I don't know whether maybe because sugar is kind of like a not so healthy kind of ingredient for our food intake. I mean, if you look at all of our food, right, like Malay, Indian, Chinese food, we put a lot of salt, we put a lot of sugar and everything, right? Yeah. So I think
sugar is way worse than salt. I mean, salt's still not so bad, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it could be. I'm not too sure why they have that ceiling, but I think part of it is also controlling the cost.
Yeah, could be.
But then, right, sugar as a percentage of the total cost of, let's say, a drink or a dish, it's quite small. But I think that when you look at the poor rural folks especially, you will have that 5-10 ringgit increase can be quite painful, right? But fun question you guys asked me, you guys can let me know in the comments. Do you feel it's fair that when you order a drink and you ask for kosong or no sugar, that you are charged the same? Right?
Yeah, actually, yeah.
Right. Most of my drinks have no sugar. And then I'm like, kopi C kosong, and then I'm like, it's still the same price as if it's kopi C, right? Anyway, so yes.
Yeah, okay. So recently, the government actually allow these two companies.
Yeah.
One is MSM, one is another company that I'm going to show you. So there's actually a duopoly between these two companies that they can produce this thing called the clear refined white sugar. It's a very long name. I'm not really an expert in cook, so I also don't know what's the difference between the refined white sugar and clear refined white sugar. Yeah, apparently there's a difference between both of them. And the reason why MSM pumps so much is because they allow it to charge at the market price without any price ceiling. So, but we still don't know how much percentage of this clear refined white sugar they can produce, the amount. We still don't know yet between these two companies. So that is for the later news when MSM decided to announce. And okay, so yeah, the keyword that you need to know here is clear refined white sugar, because we have our people sugar also. So people sugar and this sugar, they are kind of both different. The existing sugar product, which is the coarse and refined white sugar, there's still a retail ceiling. So they are selling at both of these prices. So there's no change in it. But I think the market kind of overreact and think that as though the existing sugar is gonna pump a lot, but actually it's not. Yeah. And then so another fun fact for you to know is
MSM
that
and CSR.
yes, MSM, they own 60% market share in sugar in Malaysia, and then Central Sugar,
and it's also
40%.
divided, if I'm not mistaken, by location. So I can't remember exactly what really, but MSM is actually building another plant in Johor.
Yeah.
I think the Klang Valley one is dominated by MSM. Not too sure, but I know they dominate by region. Not like something like North and South is by CSR, MSM is the Central, something like that.
Right. Okay.
So anyway, I can give some insights to the clear refined. Let me know if I'm wrong. Again, I'm like Jonathan, I'm not an expert on sugar, but from what I understand, clear refined white sugar is actually more to like the higher grade kind of sugars, which will amount to maybe 10 to 15% of nationwide usage.
Actually, what's the use? Do you know what's the use of it?
Like you say, I'm not a cook or anything, right? So
premium.
maybe you can get the same sweetness for less. I don't know. Or maybe the sweetness, maybe it's just different, right?
Okay.
Like chefs, high level chefs will little changes in their recipe, they can feel the difference. But yeah, anyway, so the problem is that either people don't read the article, or the article itself don't.
You just see the headline.
Or the article itself is not clear. But close to 80% of the sugar in Malaysia, which is the normal sugar that you and I buy, the coarse and then the refined white sugar, will still have a ceiling, right? As you say. So, of course, I've not looked into the numbers as to whether or not MSM even break down, clear, refine the margins for each of these.
Oh no,
different,
I don't think so. Yeah.
So it's hard to tell, but it's not a nothing news, but it certainly is a bit question mark. Now, however, it's not necessarily wrong that the prices have gone up in response to this, because they never say they will not raise or get rid of the ceiling. And this is, purely from my chats with insiders. If it does happen, it's a Q3, maybe Q4 thing might happen. So again, this is just hearing rumors, right? You don't take this as fact, but it's just rumors and what I'm hearing, and industry insiders, experts. Yeah, that's what they say.
All right.
But we'll see.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, okay. So again, this is just a very quick view on their fundamentals. So far, they have been doing very bad. I mean, the reason why they are doing bad is also because of a lot of these input costs, your natural gas, raw sugar, packaging, and because of the price ceiling also on top of that. Right. So
so they import like sugar cane, let's say from Brazil. That's like the big one. And take packaging out, but natural gas, raw sugar, generally speaking, compared to 2-3 years ago, is up and higher.
Yes.
I'm not too sure about the sugar cane, but I'm gonna assume that it is, because you can see it in the numbers.
Yes, exactly. So anyway, it's gonna be a gross loss for them.
Yeah, and the price ceiling means they cannot raise price. It's very similar to Tenaga.
Yeah, so this is the final comments we have. So number one is that how much can MSM produce and sell this clear, refined white sugar? So these stats we still don't know. I mean, they haven't really divulged anything about it. And the last one is basically the revenue contribution from this clear, refined white sugar. So I think if you know these two, then you can kind of gauge whether MSM will be profitable in the next few quarters or even years.
Alright guys, enjoying the video so far? If the answer is yes, remember, like, comment, subscribe. And as far as comments go, if you don't like the video, do let us know as well. We always take all sorts of feedback, as long as they're constructive. Right, last company, Inari. So they have been in the news quite a bit.
Yes.
They're up like 15%. By its standards, it's huge, right? People tend to forget Inari is a 8-9 billion market cap company. And every 10% increase means the amount of wealth created grows by 1 billion ringgit.
Yes.
So
approximately.
That is Inari. So it has had a nice jump, right? About a week from this recording-ish. And the reason is because of this Apple multi-billion dollar deal. Broadcom, for those who don't know, Broadcom is the main supplier, if I'm not mistaken, of Inari. They are incredibly influential in Inari's.
They are the major customer for Inari.
Yeah,
and they kind of also like supply those sort of materials that is needed to assemble that product to Inari also. Yes. So yeah, this news caused a quick, very big positive light to Inari. So yeah, when its share price is like depressed until its bottom, then this news came out, then it kind of rebounded. So yeah, actually nothing really much to comment about this other than these two questions that you may want to know. So number one is that about 50 to 60% of revenue actually comes from RF smartphones. So this is for Inari. And then this RF smartphone is actually coming from Broadcom.
Yes, correct.
So you roughly know majority is going to be coming in from Broadcom, and which means more business is coming in for Inari for the next 3 years. So that's why I put that as it will be a positive outlook for Inari. But we still don't know what is the selling price, we don't know what is the amount yet. But so far, this news, it looks positive to me at the moment.
I think that just really two things you need to ask yourself or need to consider when you look at Inari. So part of the reason why I'm not invested in Inari is mainly because their exposure to smartphones.
Yeah.
So smartphones is not exactly it's growing, but it's not a high growth area. It's not like cloud or
Data center.
AI-related data centers, logic chips, memory, things like that. However, you would have to look at how the smartphone evolves. I'm hearing that, things like Apple, for example, are creating they call it semi-reality glasses. It came out in the news. So I'm not sure how Inari can take advantage of this. I know a company like, let's say, Getronic will take advantage of this a lot because they have sensors, they do sensors, temperature sensors, distance sensors, motion sensors, things like that. But the question you have to ask is, will what they do for Broadcom be applicable for new applications or new physical applications? If the answer is no, then Inari is not really as attractive.
Yeah,
honestly.
Yep.
And don't forget, they are a pretty large cap at 10 billion or nearly 10 billion, and so if the elephant that continues to not fly, personally, right, I think it's hard for me to say like, I want to put some money into Inari.
Fair point. Okay, so this is a quick takeaway for these three companies. So number one is Pharmaniaga is kind of on track to recovery already. It's pretty fast already, considering it. All these things happened, I think, around like February, if I'm not mistaken, or January. So everything is coming back together again. And then the second one is MSM overhype. I mean, you can see when this video is out, you know that MSM share price is already down quite a little bit already. So yeah, I mean, the overhype, it's gone already lah. And the last take is, there may be good days ahead for Inari, but for the long term, we're still not sure what is the catalyst going forward for Inari, unless they can, like, I don't know, change a little bit on their business model and capture other things other than RF for smartphone. So that's it. That's it for our takeaway. And yes, FIRL Pro. This
one's a good one.
Yes, for our May 2023. Finally, we have one stock that is up double already, and then majority also is on the green, except for these three companies. The Telegram portfolio also has been doing very well. This Telegram portfolio is more for short-term catalyst kind of company that is not listed in FIRL Pro. So if you want these updates or whatever stocks that we share in the Telegram, make sure to join FIRL Pro. And also, just a heads up, from 31st of May 2023, 11:59 p.m. at night, we're going to be raising the price for FIRL Pro.
By the time you read this, you will be tomorrow.
You still got time actually. But it will be $60 more expensive. So we're going to raise it to $557. But if you want to check out what is inside FIRL Pro, we have a free sample for you. You can just read our reports. Even our SIB program also is inside over there. You can check it out for free. The links are in the description and comments.
And guys, if you sign up for FIRL Pro, there's a 10-day money back guaranteed. So if you hop on it, you pay the money, and you feel like it's not really your thing, totally just send us an email and we will give you the refund. No questions asked, except maybe just, why. That's it. Guys, thanks for staying all the way until the end. Hope to see you on FIRL Pro. Price is going up soon, so I hope you can take advantage of it. And guys, thanks for the support, and I will see you in the next video.